Shalom, giving all praise to YAHAWASHI, QADASH. Shalom to the hopefully elect out there. I'm going to entitle this video GMS, the ISUPK HODC, and the rest of them, will all burn in hell forever and ever, according to the IUIC. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this here. You see the picture right here. You see the infamous Vocab Melone. And then this guy, forget his name. Got to watch the video. Okay, his name pops up. And he looks nervous. He's like, you can see it in his eyes. When you watch this guy, he's like, I hope this is not true. And he loses sleep over it. He just don't give a damn. This guy, this devil right here don't give a damn. That might be Satan himself. Anyway, it says, what subject should you discuss with Israelites? See, we don't got to discuss nothing with them. We don't need them. We do not need them. We do not need to convince them that we are the Israelites. They got to convince us that the Most High, that they got to convince us that being Israelites is not all that important. And it depends on the relationship you have with Jesus. And he even says, how does he say it? You'll hear it. He says, Jesus is not a pure Israelite. This is what this clown said. This is what this clown said. Anyway, I'm going to cover this first, and then I'm going to go into the subject on all these major camps going to hell. And IUIC, you might be joining us in hell. Oh, another thing that Bishop Nate said, if you watch his last live stream, he said that after 1,000 years, he said all the nations are going into hell. They're going to burn in hell forever. So there's only going to be 144,000 Israelites and their families, and they're just going to have the whole world. That's after 1,000 years. And I said I was going to be a kinder, gentler GMS. So we're not going to curse Bishop Nate out. We're just going to try to make him wake up, because he got this new thing with the hell doctrine, which none of these camps don't teach that. We certainly don't teach that, everlasting burning hell. ISUPK, I know they don't teach that. And these other camps, these other One Westers, they don't teach that. GOCC does teach that. I'm just looking at some of these comments. In my religion, I teach there's no chosen people. Yeah, because you're not going by the scriptures. The Jews and Hebrew Israelites aren't either, because Jesus brought a new covenant for all people, Jews and Gentiles. Those Gentiles, by the way, are Israelites in the Gentile state of mind. Okay, so let's deal with the word new covenant. Let's deal with the word new covenant. Let me read this again. In my religion, whatever religion it is, it's a franchise of Roman Catholicism, most likely, probably a Christian. Illuminate Church. I might even click on this guy. Matter of fact, let me do that. Like I said, oh boy, I already know. The Lord sent a lion in a cage. The message to kids being bullied. Oh, this is some lost Jake soul. Jesus, baby. Jesus had to be crucified to prove he wasn't a punk. Oh, I never heard that before. Well, he tried to punk out, if that's the case. He asked the Lord, is there any way I can do it? So he punked out. And then the Most High said, nope. Yeah, so this guy, matter of fact, let me see. Okay, he set up the page Illuminate Church in 2011, over 10 years ago. And okay, how many videos did he put up? He doesn't even get hits. This guy doesn't even get hits. Look at this. Look at this. Going back a year, 4 views. This is 11 years ago. He got 10 views. So nobody's listened to this guy. The scriptures say, if the Lord said, if I be lifted up, I shall draw all men to myself. So you're calling yourself lifting up the Lord. Ain't nobody being drawn to you. Last video he did was 4 months ago. So you Christians are taking L's all day, every day. So let me come back over here. So let me come back to him. Let me just look at the replies. Oh, beautiful. So let me read this again, then I'll read the replies. In my religion, I teach there's no chosen people. Well, obviously, you're not following the Bible. The Jews and Hebrew Israelites aren't either, because Jesus brought a new covenant. So we're going to get into the term new covenant and see who it applies to for all people, which is nowhere in the scriptures. Jews and Gentiles. Gentiles are Israelites. And also, Jesus said in Matthew 8:10-12, many Gentiles will feast with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. Those are Israelites. And many Jews will be thrown into the fire. I agree with Jesus' teachings, just not that Jesus is God or a Trinity thing. Where Paul says Jesus is under God, not his equal, in the Quran, which clarifies this. So this is a confused. He appears to be an Israelite. So let me read these replies. The new covenant is with the house of Judah, Israel, according to Jeremiah 31 and Hebrews 8:8. This Joseph, that's one piece of the pie. You can't just cherry pick one part. Isaiah 49, God tells the Messiah that he will not just unify Judah and Israel, but he will gather the Gentiles, Israelites, so that his salvation would be to the end of the earth. Yeah, because the Israelites are scattered throughout the whole earth. That's why Israel was supposed to be a priest nation. The purpose of priests is to serve on behalf of the people, teach them the laws. And Israel, as a priest nation, was to serve on behalf of the nations, teach them the laws, not serve them. The Messiah fulfills that role as priest according to Isaiah 49, Psalms 110. Let me check out some more of these. Oh yeah, this is I got to get into this. Chris Rock, he did a special on Netflix, and he basically curses out Will Smith. So that's going to be the new controversial thing. So hey Jake may forget, but he doesn't forget. You know. Brandon Gandera. I was wondering, vocab. I was wondering if I could talk to you personally. I have a situation going on with the Israelites. Been there, bro. Same. Yeah, they gotta go, they come with their scriptures and they get cut up and they get cut up, with the scriptures. They get the true understanding, so they gotta run back to vocab. Vocab can't deal with it. So why are you running back to vocab? Vocab can't even get over the hurdle of reincarnation. Job, Indo. Job was a high priest Edomite, and Jethro was not native born either. Yeah, well, Jethro was a heathen. Job was an Israelite of the tribe of Issachar. That's the only time Job is mentioned in the scriptures. Either Job or Jobab. Let me look at that. Let me just put in the word Job. Let me put in the word Jobab. I believe it's Jobab. Jobab. Let's see if it comes up. Okay, it says he's from the tribe of Issachar. Bear me for a minute. Oh, Vocab said that Job was around before Abraham. I'm trying to find the word Issachar. Let me try this. Bear me for a minute. This thing is acting up. Okay, I gotta find it. Maybe I'm. Let me see. Issachar. I can't find it. I'll find it later. It's no big deal. But I'm going by Jobab in the what do you call that? Not the Josephus. The Septuagint. The Septuagint that mentioned Job in the Septuagint. but so I believe the name was Jobab. Let me do this. Let me come back to this. Let me do it this way. Job in the Septuagint. Bear with me for a minute. Book of Job in the Septuagint. Let's try this. Uh, 42. Let's see what 42 says. Close. Okay, I believe this is it. Job 42, verse 17. And Job died an old man and full of days. And it is written that he will rise again with those whom the Lord rises up. This man is described in the Sirach book, living in the land of Holsis on the border of Idumea. So now, Vocab Melone said that Job, and I'll let you hear it, Job came before Abraham. Well, wait a minute. Idumea came about after Abraham. Idumea, which is Edom or Esau, is a grandson of Abraham. So how did Job came out of Edom? He was living in the land of Edom because Edom was, you can't call a place Edom and then 5 generations later the Edomites come in. No. Edom, the land Idumea is called Idumea because of the name of the people, the Edomites. So you went off again, Vocab, and Arabia, and his name before was Jobab, and having taken an Arabian wife, he begat a son. So it says Job had 7 sons. I believe he had 7 sons and 7 daughters. I know for a fact he had 7 sons. You can go ahead and read it in the first chapter. It speaks about the first 2-3 chapters. Begat a son whose name was, and they're talking about him after his death. You know, he's being eulogized. So it says he had 1 son. This is all BS. This is not scriptural. And this is what they use. And he himself was the son of his father Zerah, one of the sons of Esau. So again, Vocab Melone went off by saying Job was around before Abraham. So how can Job be an Edomite or the son of Esau? And of his mother Bathsheba, so that he was the 5th from what? Vocab, we got you again. He was the 5th from Abraham. So Job would be maybe the grandson of Esau himself. And these were the kings who reigned in Edom. There it goes again. So Vocab, you're gonna have to come back, man. You're gonna have to do some damage control, my man. You made the statement that that Job came about before Abraham. Which country he also ruled over. First, Balak, the son of Behor. Balak and Behor came long after Abraham. And the name of his city is Denabah. But after Balak, Jobab, which is Job, who is called Job, after him, Esum. I don't got to read anymore. Then it goes into Moab. Moab came after Abraham. Keep saying Esau, keep saying Edom, Eliphaz. So this is what these clowns use to, to back up their belief that Job was an Edomite. So let's go back to Jobab. Let's go back to Jobab. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hit Jobab. I'm gonna go into the name Jobab. Jobab. Let's get some information on Jobab. The last descendant, sons of Job, a descendant of Shem, one of the kings of Edom. That's why, this is another reason why they say he's Jobab. But it says Job had one son and an Arabian wife. So you can't say Job was an Edomite. Now it says here Jobab was an Edomite. So anyway, let's come back over here. I gotta find this again. Okay, so we're gonna cover this real quick. And the brother answered it. The new covenant is with the house of Judah, Israel, according to Jeremiah 31:31 and Hebrews 8:8. And those are both scriptures that go into it. That's Paul reiterating what Jeremiah said. So you can't, this is why this happens. Where is it? Brandon Gandera at Vocab Melone. I was wondering if I could talk to you personally. I have a situation going on with the Israelites. Yeah, he got his spiritual ass whipping, and he's crying to Vocab. Vocab doesn't have the answers. That's why Vocab didn't answer you. That's why Vocab did not answer you, because he doesn't have the answers. Let me come back over here. Okay. Oh, I want you to watch this. I'm a little all over the place, but that's all right too. Gotta find this. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I'll bring this video up and you can watch it. Where the hell is it? Just bear with me. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. bottom line is dealing with you Christians is easy work. Why can't I find this? Let me do this. Let me do it this way. Redact. Redacted. Okay, redacted. Okay, I was watching this video about an hour ago. I'm not gonna play it. Oh shit, vaccine passports just got very real. So you got to listen to this. You got to listen to this. And when you listen to this, if you're in the know, if you're at GMS, you know what this is leading to. They're not gonna throw the C thing in the garbage. They're gonna still use it. But most people are woken up to it. So please, please, please watch this video right here. Oh shit, vaccine passports just got very real. See, it's gonna go from a QR code to you know what we always talk about. So you got to watch this. Go to redacted. It was put up a day ago. So let's come back over here to, wait a minute. Okay, so I'm gonna let you listen to these two clowns. So listen up.
Discussion with some Hebrew Israelites. Like you're like, here's an issue I want to bring up, here's an issue I want to bring up. Things that you like to talk about as opposed to the things that you want to let just pass by and not comment. Right. How important is it, or has it ever been, to be a blood Israelite in the first place? That's one thing. And so what?
So you just heard what he said. In other words, it ain't all that important being an Israelite. Doesn't matter if you're Israelite, a Canaanite, a Edomite. This doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Israelites are not important anyway. Let me go to this real quick. Romans 3, I believe. Romans chapter 3. I'll start from 1. Okay. Romans 3, verse 1. What advantage then have the Jew, the Israelite? Or what profit is there of circumcision? Much every way, chiefly because that unto them, the Israelites, but it says Jew here, were committed the oracles of the Most High. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect? Most High forbid. Yeah, let the Most High be true, but every man a liar. So in other words, let's go to the book. With all this arguing, let's go to the book. As it is written, that thou mayest be justified in thy sayings and mightest overcome when thou art judged. But if our unrighteousness commend the righteousness of the Most High, what shall we say? Is the Most High unrighteous, who taketh vengeance? But I immediately should go to Romans the 9th chapter. I speak as a man. The Most High forbid. For then how shall the Most High judge the world? For if the truth of the Most High have more abounded through my lie unto his glory, why yet am I also judged as a sinner? Well, wait a minute. Paul just said he was a lie, so I guess Paul is going to hell. Anyway, the main point was the first really 3, maybe 4 verses, but I just read down just in case they said, well, read the next verse down, read the next 5 verses down. So let's come back over here. Hold up. Union. I'm watching something on CNN. Union Access Norfolk Southern of accuses North South Fork South Southern of putting, what is that, rail workers at risk. Okay, that's the train derailment, and they're just speaking on it. Thought it was another derailment. Okay, let's listen on.
There's a lot of ways to approach that, but to me that's important because I think it can kind of take away the supremacy they put upon this newly discovered revelation.
Supremacy has nothing to do with sin. You know, being supreme over somebody has nothing to do with sin. Ultimately, we will be over the other nations. There's to name one precept, Isaiah 14:1 and verses 1 and 2.
And some ways you can do that is
and this guy right here is a nervous wreck because he doesn't want to go into captivity. If you were Edomite, you're going into captivity.
And say, well, let's look at examples of non-Israelites that got saved or used. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone prior to Abraham, they're not Israelite.
Now this devil's feeling some type of relief. See, the Lord dealt with other Israelites. Vocab's going to bring it out.
So if Job was prior, but obviously Adam, Noah, Israelites. So if Job was prior, but obviously, ladies and gentlemen, everyone prior to Abraham, they're not Israelites.
Everyone prior to Israelites, Abraham is not Israelite. And the first guy he mentions is Job. I just pulled back the video. What did I show you? That Job came. They speak in the Septuagint and in the scriptures that he was in that land, and they speak about Edom. His friends were Edomites, whether they were Jake that was living in the land of Edom, or they were Edomites. That's long after Abraham. So how in the hell did Job come on the scene before Abraham did? So he erred greatly.
So if Job was prior, but obviously Adam, Noah, this is
Noah, Adam would be an Israelite. Noah would be an Israelite. Everything is reincarnated. Abram to Abraham was not an Israelite, but he was a son of the Most High. So Abraham came back as an Israelite. Lot came back as an Israelite. Jacob came back as an Israelite. Isaac came back as an Israelite. Rebecca came back as an Israelite. Rachel and Leah came back as Israelites.
Before that, Methuselah, Enoch, that's a
Methuselah, Enoch, these men came back as Israelites. There's a thing called reincarnation. Reincarnation is biblical. And this is why you're confused. This is why you're stuck.
Important to understand. And then, of course, you have Abraham, so he is called out, he is chosen, and you go on. But then within the story of his descendants, you have folks who are clearly portrayed in a favorable light, to say the least. There's a whole book called Ruth. Ruth is a Moabitess. She is a Moabitess, right? And look what she says: your God will be my God, and your people will be my people. And there she is.
Genealogy of Christ.
So all you got to do is say you're Israelite, and hocus pocus, you become an Israelite. He's giving him some hope, but it's false hope that you're getting.
Yeah, so even Jesus himself is not a pure Israelite. You see, so even Jesus himself is not a pure Israelite.
genealogy of Christ.
Yeah, so even Jesus himself is not a pure Israelite.
What's genealogy of Christ?
Yeah, so even Jesus himself is not a pure Israelite.
Genealogy of Christ.
Yeah, so even Jesus himself is not a pure Israelite.
What does that mean? I would like you to go into detail on that, Vocab Melone. You heard it. Even Jesus himself was not a pure Israelite, meaning Jesus himself was a Gentile. So if you guys say that the Gentiles are going to go into slavery, then Jesus is going into slavery too. Let's listen to a little bit more of this nonsense.
You see,
And I advise you, Christians out there that follow vocab, look, don't roll up on no top shelf One West Israelites, because you're gonna get embarrassed. You know, you're gonna get a spiritual beat down. Hold up, oh wow. I don't know. I'm watching the CNN. I don't know if this is from about a month ago. I got the sound off because they're building a cop city in Atlanta. Basically, it's like a military training ground for the police. Basically, the police are militarized. So let's listen to a little bit more.
excellent, exactly. The Assyrians. Jonah was sent to Nineveh. Here you have this thing that's supposed to be fulfilled, where Israel is supposed to be a light into the nations, and Jonah is called not even to his own people, to an enemy group of people.
The people of Nineveh, you had Israelites living in Nineveh. That was kind of like, Nineveh was like a metropolis, mother city. You had other nations and you had Israelites. It was the Israelites that repented. You have Rome. That's like saying, oh, the people of Rome, everybody that lived under the Roman Empire were all Romans. No, they might have received Romans, citizen status, but you had Israelites that were living in Rome. That's in Acts the 18th chapter. It was Claudius that banned them from Rome.
To go and say repent, and God gives them grace and mercy there.
And then he destroys the place. He destroys them later on. Read the scripture.
And he says, look, Jonah, you need to care about them the way I care about them. That doesn't seem...
The Lord doesn't care about the other nations. If he cared about them, he wouldn't, have them to be future slaves under the Israelites.
Like something an ethnocentric God in the way that they view him doesn't seem like something he would do, right? Rahab and her family that were saved when they went.
Rahab the harlot is going into captivity.
And the Canaanite woman there in Matthew 15, the proselytes at Acts chapter 2, it literally said
the Canaanite woman was an Israelite. She was a Greek, a Syrophoenician by nation. She was an Israelite. The centurion that the Lord healed his servant, he was an Israelite.
That's proselytes. The Philippian jailer, there's no indication he was a Jew. Lydia in Acts chapter 16, Cornelius, Acts chapter 10, of the Italian band.
He goes with the Cornelius thing. Cornelius is an Israelite.
Right? He might have even been a tenor, bad joke. But you look and you see Cornelius, a Gentile. You have the Ethiopian in Acts chapter 9 with Philip, right? You have the Romans.
Oh, this guy be biting us. Bad joke. You know how we say inside joke? He wants to say inside joke. He just had to kind of twist it a little bit. He kind of throws some little jokes in there. He got it from us.
In Syria that Jesus dealt with. You have the Samaritan in Acts chapter 8. You have the Greeks that are mentioned in Acts chapter 11. And most of the audience that the New Testament letters are written to is a mixed audience. And you can even tell by some of the ways things are worded and the things are spoken. And then you go to the end of the book in Revelation chapter 7. And what is Revelation chapter 7? Verse 9, for example, I believe it is.
I knew he was going to go to that, but we're going to break that real. This is basic, easy stuff.
What does it say about that in vision of God's people, everybody? It says there was a vast multitude from every nation, tribe, people, and language, which no one could number, standing before the throne.
They were from every tribe, people, and language, and every nation, because remember, Deuteronomy 28:64, they were scattered from one end of the earth to the other.
And before the Lamb, they were clothed in white robes and palm branches in their hands.
They were Israelites.
It's a multi-ethnic throng worshiping Jesus Christ, right? And so I think it's important.
He's feeling good about himself. He said, I think I'm going to make it.
For people to see the global vision, because they'll say, well, look, these promises are given to God's descendants. Yes, the promise is fulfilled in who? You got to go to Galatians to see it's through Jesus. But even the Abrahamic covenant, here's the last thing I'll say. Even the Abrahamic covenant, I think it's really important for people to see. It was to do what? To bless the families of the earth, or to bless all nations.
The families of the earth and all nations of the earth are Israelites. We're the only ones that's going to be blessed. When you go into the word bless, barak in the Hebrew, when you go into that word, go into the etymon of that word, the etymology of that word, the hermeneutics, which is another way of saying etymology, go into the root of the word. The word bless means for somebody to bow down to you. So you're not going to have a whole bunch of nations in the kingdom and we're all equal and everybody just bowing down. The Israelites, a Canaanite, he bows down to him. Like we're all going to be Japanese or Chinese. No. Blessing means for somebody to bow down to you. Like the so-called royalty in England. They're blessed because people come and bow down to them.
Peoples, depending on what translation you use. When God first comes to Abraham, it's part of what he says, why he's going to do through him. So it's very important for people to see God always has this grand vision, and it's fulfilled in Christ, and it's going to be fulfilled in that final picture of the kingdom with this all tribes, all nations, all people, all language, and that's what the New Testament church is supposed to be doing.
See, he doesn't go through the whole scripture. He doesn't go through the Old Testament, Isaiah, Psalms, many other books, where it says, I can easily bring you some precepts on the future kingdom and how we're going to have slaves. We're going to have slaves and rule over their oppressors, Isaiah 14:2, and they will rule over their oppressors who oppress them. And they shall become slaves, or men slaves and women slaves. And we are going to oppress them that oppressed us.
In the meantime, connected directly to Matthew 28, go to all nations.
Those all nations were the scattered Israelites.
Because the Israelites, a lot of them have to make that go to the Israelites in all nations, but that's not what it says, right? All ethnos. And so I just think that grand vision of what God's intention to do through Israel is important to see. And that's why you see all these people included in. We haven't even covered them yet. Caleb, of Joshua and Caleb, he's not a...
This guy's a fucking clown, man. He's a clown. And I went through this. He brought that up back in 2016. Caleb was an Israelite. He said he was adopted. Come on. You're a clown, man. That's why nobody takes you seriously. Let me go to Caleb. Caleb. These people are desperate, man. Caleb is written 32 times in 32 verses, Numbers 13:6, of the tribe of Judah, Caleb, the son of Jephunneh. Numbers 14:6, verse 6, and Joshua, the son of Nun, and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, which were of them that searched the land, rent their clothes, but my servant Caleb, because he had another spirit within him. Yeah, because he was one of the ones, him and Joshua said, oh, we can take these people. The other spies, oh no, we can't. No, we're not ready for them. So it said they had Caleb and Joshua had a different spirit in them. It says here again, but Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh. Now let's see what it says about Jephunneh. Jephunneh. Let's see what it says. Now there's a Canaanite among the Edomites, but there was also a Canaanite among Israel. As a matter of fact, let me do this. Let's go to okay, but the fields gave. And the sons of Jah. Okay, let's go here. First Chronicles 4, verse 15. Let's see what it says. Click on this. Okay, so this is line of her Asher. It says First Chronicles 4, verse 1. The sons of Judah, Perez, Hezron. I'm not going to read all of them. But these are all the sons that came out of the sons and the sons that came out of Judah. 12 verse, and begat, blah, 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 blah. These are the men of, and the sons of Kenaz, Othniel, which was the brother of Caleb, and Sarai, and the son of Othniel. And it comes all the way down to, and the sons of Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, Iru, Elah, and Num, and the sons of Elah, even Kenaz. These are all Judah. This is a the Chronicles means the record. So they go into the line of this happens to be the tribe of Judah, the line of the tribe of Judah. So who came out of the tribe of Judah? Jephunneh, and the sons of Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, which was Caleb's father. So there's nothing mentioned about the Edomites. Kenaz, there is a Kenaz. Let's do this. There is a Kenaz or Kenazite among the Edomites, because the Edomites had Hebrew names, spoke Hebrew. See, it's right here. Kenaz. So you had a Kenaz, right, two different genealogies right here. It says that these were the dukes, or the sons of Esau, the sons of Duke Teman, Duke Duke Zafo, and Duke Kenez. Duke Kenez, Duke Teeman, Duke Midza. Then it jumps all the way to, goes from Genesis to Joshua 15 to 17, and Othniel, the son of Kenez, the brother of Caleb. These are Judites. These are Judites. These are Edomites. But you notice they're the same name. So you're reaching. You're reaching. Let's listen to a little bit more.
Israelite. Now he eventually gets engrafted into Judah, but he's what's called a Kenizzite.
I just showed you in the scriptures that there was a Kenez among Edom, and there was a Kenez among the Judites. Two different persons. And you see the little smile on his face. You're too goddamn easy, man. And you set these Christians up for a fall because they get the scriptures, they put the scriptures together, they watch you, they ask questions. Then they'll go out to an Israelite, a former one Wester, and their tail goes between their legs, and they walk away with their heads down. Look, anytime we get a Christian that roll up on us, we're gonna ragdoll you in the spirit. We're gonna ragdoll you in the spirit. We have fun, and like Arnold Schwarzenegger said, I believe the movie Commando, he said, I eat special forces for lunch or breakfast or something. Like, we eat you for lunch, man. We eat you for lunch. You are easy work. You are easy. You're too easy. They like the movie White Man Can't Jump at the tournament. The team that they want, that this guy the Jake and the Edomite dude. They went up against these other Jakes, and the Jake said, they're doing layups, and they said that shit was too easy. No, too easy. Hey, that's what happens when we deal with you Christians. You are too easy. Or Esau is the end of the world, Jacob is the beginning in transit. You gotta watch that. That was an excellent point. Okay. So we don't gotta watch any more of this. He's not gonna, let's watch a little bit more. Then I'm gonna go into the IUIC leadership, and about all of us are gonna go to hell.
Remember Uriah? He's a Hittite fighting in David's army, more righteous than David.
Uriah was an Israelite living in the land of the Canaanites.
Himself. Now, this is not a good example. Doeg the Edomite, one of Saul's guys, because he was kind of a bad guy. But it shows how they didn't have the understanding of the Hebrew Israelites. And Jesus, he gets in trouble because he says things like, prophets had to go outside and heal lepers. They had to go outside Israel. And yeah, they didn't like that because they knew what he was saying, right?
Yeah. He's like, here's a bunch of Gentiles. And then the next thing he does is he goes out and heals the Gentile, casts the demon out of this Gentile woman.
Exactly.
He's feeling good about himself. Please roll up on one of the camps, one of the prominent camps, and we'll put that pin and suck all that air out your ass. You are weak. You're weak. You're weak-minded. This guy has convinced himself that he's an end-all, be-all. This guy's easy work. He's easy work. He can't even get over. He can't even get over the reincarnation doctrine. He's easy. These guys are easy work, man. Anyway, let me do this. Let me do this right here. IUIC in the classroom. Okay, wisdom cries without okay, artificial intelligence. How long is that? A little long one. Now, artificial intelligence is going to lead to the charagma, the MOTB, unshakable faith in the darkest hour. Because now he sees that, you know, some of us are going to get beheaded and all this other stuff. Okay. Okay, right about here. Let me bring this back. I hope I'm at the right spot. I believe it's around 218, 219. It could be 214 where he goes into it. Matter of fact, let me go to 214. Go to 214. Oh, that's not it. That's not it. That's something else. Let me go to 218.
No power. The second death has no power. We can explain later. And guess what? That's the case. Now, no condemnation. There is therefore now no condemnation. We won't be judged under the second death. The that which is in Christ. We walk not after the flesh. Give me Revelation 20. Revelation 20. And the one about when the Father comes on the scene. Revelation 20 and verse 11. And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face me for second person. Yeah, go ahead, read that. And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away. So read verse 6. I'm sorry. I got to read 5 and 6, then we're going to jump. Yes, sir. Revelation 20 and 5. I was talking about condemnation. That's what. But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. Let me explain. The first resurrection of those Israelites. They were brought delivered to the lands of the ship, taken from captivity in New Jerusalem. Everybody understand it, right? Read it again. But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. What about the Israelites that rejected Christ, that hated keeping the commandments? Read it again. This is what it says. But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. Those Israelites are not coming back in the world.
That he's talking about us. He should have said GMS. He said born. It doesn't say that. It doesn't. There's no scripture that says that the wicked Israelite gonna come back, but it makes all the sense in the world. You're gonna come back through. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 5 and 9. Let's go back to Exodus 20 verse 5, where it says you're gonna pay for it in your third and fourth generation. 2 Corinthians 5 and 11, go before the Father and you're judged in the body. In other words, when you come back. So for him to say that, that means there's no such, really, he's hinting on there's no such thing as reincarnation. You come once and that's it. And what did Bishop Nate here do in his previous lives when he was his great-great-grandfather, his great-great-great-great-grandfather, his great-great-great, did he keep the laws at those times? No, he didn't. And then there's no way you can keep the laws perfectly. That's what Paul said in Romans 7. So for him to come up with this new doctrine, which is really an old doctrine, Galatians 1 and 6, about hell is, like I said, it's a Roman Catholic doctrine, and he's clearly going off, like he's going off on the MOTB, like he went off on the Cornelius thing. He went off on the Cornelius thing many years ago, and he's going to be found out. He's going to be wrong with the MOTB thing.
Understand it. You got doctors that say you can buy prostitutes, you can steal, whatever. You still won't get the thing. That's a lot. It says the rest of the dead is
Oh, hold up. Wait a minute. If you're that means hoes are not gonna go to the kingdom, right? Let's see what the Lord said. I mean, I don't gotta go into it no more. He didn't lose. That's a first round knockout. He said, prostitute, you can get with prostitutes and you can still go to the kingdom. You can still never said anything about stealing. So Samson is going to burn in hell. So let me go to that. Where am I going to go? Where did I say I was going to go? Oh, yeah, let me do this. It's either harlot or harlots in the New Testament. In order for you to commit the act of prostitution, you have to lay down with a harlot. It says, and let me go to the red letter. That's all in red. Matthew 21, verse 31, whether of them twine did the will of his father. They say unto him, the first, YAHAWASHI said unto them, verily I say unto you, that the publicans and the harlots go into the kingdom of the Most High before you. So what is he? You know what? Let me do this. Let me go up a couple of verses. So you're gonna have hoes in the kingdom of heaven. When they get to the kingdom of heaven, they ain't gonna be hoes no more. Excuse me. Let me red letter it. I want to go right to the point. Okay, and he came to the second and said, likewise, the answer. Yeah, so one son, he said, do this. He didn't do it, but then he did it. And the other one said he was going to do it, but didn't do it. So I said, whether them twine did the will of his father. They say unto him the first, because he said he wasn't going to do it, but he wound up doing it. Our Lord says unto him, verily I say unto you, that the publicans and the harlots go, the publicans are Israelites, and he's talking about Israelite harlots, go into the kingdom of the Most High before you. So he just said, if you involved in prostitution, you're gonna go and burn in hell. Well, wait a minute, that's contradiction what the Lord just said. He said the harlots are gonna go into heaven before you, meaning even the wicked Israelites out there, the wicked scribes and Pharisees. He said you're gonna go into heaven, but they're gonna go in before you. He didn't say they might go in. Let me do this. Let me go into the word harlot. Let's see what that means. Deal with the word harlot. A woman, this is all we need is a one. A woman who sells her body for sexual uses. A prostitute, a harlot, one who yields herself to defilement for the sake of gain of money. Any woman indulging in unlawful sexual intercourse, that includes adultery, because if you had a man you got with another man, that's technically adultery. You got with another man, that's being a harlot. Whether for gain or for lust. That's a prostitute does it for gain. A hoe does it for lust. So the Most High said, prostitute. Let's put that word in there. Let's come back. Let's come back. Verily, I red letter. Verily, I say unto you that the publicans and the prostitutes go into the kingdom of the Most High before you. So I just contradicted what my man said. Now, as you, this is not it. Let's go over here. Let's listen to it a little bit more. So we just cut him with the scriptures. He said that if you engage in prostitution, you're going into hell. You're going to burn in hell forever. That's not what the Lord said.
It's not going to live again until the 1,000 years is finished, right? This is the first resurrection. Read. Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection. Everybody listening, we all want part of the first resurrection. Why? It's going to explain. On such the second death hath no power. The second death has no power. He's going to explain it later on. Read.
Oh, by the way, if this is the case, if we're going to go by what he says, then the Most High programmed you to go to hell. Because why do we sin in the first place? Paul said that. It's not me that doeth it, but sin that dwelleth in me. The creature was, Romans 8, the creature was subject unto vanity, not willingly. So when somebody sins, and we all have sinned and come short of the glory of the Heavenly Father, right? So what does that mean? That means that the Most High program us to go off. Why would we need us? Why would these guys need a new covenant if they stop? They don't sin no more. Guarantee you hang out with any of these guys, they sin. You come around me, I'm going to sin. It's not me that doeth it, but sin that dwelleth in me. Not willingly. Subject to vanity, meaning committed sin not willingly, because the Most High put it in you. That's why the Most High is going to reprogram Israel to keep the laws perfectly. Therefore, we're going to teach the other nations the laws. So the other nations not going into hell and burning forever, according to what the Bishop Nate says. He's clearly going off. He's clearly going off. And I'm glad that we got kicked out. I'm so glad that we got kicked out of that House of David school.
They shall be priests of God and of Christ, and shall reign with them 1,000 years. Now let's see what happens after the 1,000 years.
Oh, by the way, every time they say Jesus, Jesus, and Christ, they're sinning. They're going against the law. Y'all should know that by heart. What is that? Leviticus 23 and 13, if I'm not mistaken. That's a sin. Who's a king? Christ. Who's a king? Christ. This is why a guy from GMS is not, I'm leaving GMS, I'm getting with the IUIC. And ISUPK ain't doing that. GMS ain't doing that. So, and any of you that's thinking about doing that, you go right ahead. I'll open the door for you. Let's go here to Leviticus, please, for Leviticus 23. The lake of fire is not a place that you burn in hell forever. The lake of fire is the U.S., Babylon the Great. I'm sorry, I always get this confused. I meant to say Exodus. Exodus 23. And in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect and make no mention of the name of other gods. Jesus Christ is another God. Neither let it be heard out of thy mouth. Corinthians speak about another Jesus. Let's go into that. Matter of fact, let me do this. Let me go to the NLT just to see what it says. Let's see what it says. Pay close attention to all my instructions You must not call on the name of any other God. Most High in Christ, blessed is another God. Yeah, but people don't understand the Hebrew, so we say it in English. Well, wait a minute. Then why do you tell people to change their name? The English, the government name is a cool name, so you got to change your name to a Hebrew name. Do not even speak their names. Ooh, do not even speak their names. Who's the king? Christ. Who's the king? Christ. So you guys are sitting right there. So based on what you're teaching, you're going into hell. And I'm being cool, Asaph. And Asaph, you should be the main one that cursed this guy out. He's clearly going off. This guy wasn't teaching that. This guy wasn't. Bishop Nate wasn't teaching this 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Remember, he went off before with the Cornelius. We got kicked out of the school, out of the house of David, because we were teaching a truth. Let's listen to a little bit more.
Verse 11. And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them. And I saw the dead, small and great. So all the dead, small and great, stand before God. Stand before God. Right? And the books were open. Books with an S on it, because there's books on every last one. Right? And another book was open, which it.
This is all. You can't look. You got to know when you go into the scriptures. You got to know when it's a literal thing and when it's a symbolic thing. This is all symbolic. They don't have a library in heaven. You got the librarian. You got the librarian with wings on the back. Oh, what book do you want? You want the records on Esau? It's right back there. She gonna flutter her wings and get you the book. Ain't no books in heaven. It's what John sees. Just like when he saw the beast, he saw an actual beast, but it represented what? NATO, the EU, which includes America. When he saw the lake on fire. He was looking down at America on fire. But it ain't talking about a place that you cast in there into forever. Now, the reason why I said in the title of this video, GMS ISUPK and all the other camps are going into hell, according to the IUIC, is because if you add to the scriptures or take away from the scriptures, you're going to be taken out of the book of life. It says that the book of life, anybody that's taken out of the book of life shall go into the lake of fire. So if we're breaking down the scriptures wrong, and we're coming up against this man pursuant to Acts 5:38, then we're going to go into the hell based upon him. Let's deal with the charagma thing, the MOTB. If we're wrong, we're going to hell according to him. But if you're wrong, you're going to hell according to you. And I'm telling you right now, you're going off. Just like you had all that confidence 20 plus years ago about Cornelius not being an Israelite, and now you boldly teach it. So we were never wrong. Let the record reflect that we here at Great Millstone were never wrong. Let's listen to a little bit more. And matter of fact, I'm gonna close it right here. Shalom.